This is Kelly McGow with Lab 3, Maze 1. Just a little bit about the robot. This is an NXT robot modeled after the ball hunter. It has a motorized claw, which is activated by the light sensor that seeks out the white balls. The light sensor here tells the robot to continue moving until it finds the goal box or the finish box. Unfortunately, I only have access to one ultrasonic sensor. Ideally, I would have two, or determine a way to mount the ultrasonic sensor so that it didn't interfere with the claws, but then I don't have maze walls that are high enough for the ultrasonic sensor to be set off, which was a problem in my last maze. So I'm using one ultrasonic sensor to detect the inside walls of the maze as well as the outside walls of the maze. In my last run, I was having an issue on the return trip. When I hit the white finish box, I should have done a 180 turn, went forward, and then proceeded to go forward left while trying to find another ball. I double checked my code and found that I had an error where I had put the 180 turn and the movement forward inside my while loop, which is continuing while this does not find the goal box. And so I removed that code, put it outside the while, but I have all of that inside a for loop that is designed to repeat itself 4 more times, as the first ball that is being sought is straight in front of it, but on the return trip it kind of has to move to the left in a circle, hoping to seek and find the other 4 balls. So I have it repeating 4 more times. So this will be, I think, attempt number 51, and I updated the code, and we'll see how this works. If the ultrasonic sensor is not lined up pretty much parallel to the wall, find that the more of an angle it approaches the wall, it tends to miss the wall entirely. To get the correct arc on my turns, I actually used a mathematical formula I found on the internet that involved drawing circles on the maze around the corners, determining the radius of the circle and the width of the wheelbase and my desired speed. And then I was able to use this formula to calculate the speed of the right motor and the left motor. Motor C is set to a speed of 28 and motor B is set to a speed of 19 in this example. And it detected the goal box, so it let go of the ball, and it is turning around. But because I have only one ultrasonic sensor, I have to turn this or it will not see that wall. And I increased my back up a little bit, trying to compensate for the fact that I have the ultrasonic sensor on the other side, allowing it a little more room to come in at the angle that it needs to make the turn. This is where it's had a lot of problems before. Trying to make it around. Should make it to this white finish box and then do a 180 turn and then drive forward a little bit, which is not in the loop anymore. Of course, now it's trying to find another ball. I hope that it doesn't hit the wall before it does. a flaw with the code where I don't know exactly how to seek the balls on the inside of the maze. I wanted to keep the code simple by using loops, but I don't seem to be able to come up with a loop that lets me look around for the balls. Also, I did not have access to a color sensor. I did order one from Lego Education, but it took it several weeks. Just got here yesterday, and I had already worked a lot on the code, so I stayed with the white balls and the light sensor for now. So hopefully he will turn around and come back. Formula for turning is pretty accurate. He pretty much stays lined up on the circles that I drew on the garage floor. A little bit too faint to see in the video. And the material I used for the maze walls knocked down quite easily. And it somehow detected something. Maybe it turned around for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but it had to do with the light sensor being set off. I've had to change the batteries in this 3 times because I chose the design of the NXT Ball Hunter, which used a flat bottom instead of the rechargeable battery pack. And I'm not really a good engineer or designer, so I could not figure out how to make the cradle on their design with the extra 1/2 inch that the rechargeable battery pack gave it. So I've had to change the batteries 3 times. There are 6 AA batteries in there. And so that means I've gone through 18 batteries. But the reason I mention the batteries is I have noticed that when the batteries get low, the robot really starts acting strange and the light sensors values go crazy. So we did that repeat, I think 4 times, which means my value for my 4 is off by 1, which I just noticed. Even though it did not actually successfully grab the balls and return them where they were supposed to, the claw went down and released 4 times. So I have to fix my for loop, and as I mentioned, as the batteries get lower, the ultrasonic values and especially the light sensor values start changing. And I will have to go into my code and adjust those values accordingly or change the batteries again, which means taking the robot apart. So back to the code to change the off by 1 error on the for loop and double check the values on the light sensor to see how it got set off there in the middle of the floor, maybe sweep the garage floor and try again.